Alright, my fellow peeps, looks like we have the 21st installment of the Double Rant House shit. So the first segment one is Music, which is a 2021 American musical drama film directed by singer-songwriter Sia. The film was co-written by Sia and Dallas Clayton, and stars Kate Hudson, Leslie Odom Jr., and Maddie Ziegler. And the second segment is Fray Bentos, the food brand which is associated with tinned processed meat products, originally corned beef and later meat pies. The brand has been sold in the United Kingdom, other European countries, and Australia. Okay, so without further ado to our shit, let's get on with the shit. Alright. The fucking movie begins with newly sober alcoholic Kazu Zu Gamble is left as the sole guardian of her teenage, non-verbal autistic half-sister, Music, following the death of their grandmother Millie, who raised Music. Zu deals drugs with the help of her friend Rudy, but is unable to pay him back as she is unemployed. Wow, that's fucking fucked up. One morning, soon after Zu begins to take care of her, Music has a meltdown when Zu is unable to braid her hair. Her neighbor, Ebo, comes to help to calm Music down, and Zu and Ebo form a friendship. Ebo tells Zu that he is a boxer and teaches boxing to children, one of them being Felix, who dislikes boxing but is forced to do it by his father. Felix lives opposite Music and is often seen watching her. Zu learns how to take care of Music with Ebo's help, but continues to deal drugs to fund her dream to move to Costa Rica. Are you serious? Selling drugs to everyone just to make it to some like some paradise? That's not how life works. So what the hell? After Ebo reveals that his ex-wife left him for his brother, Zu promises to accompany him to their wedding. Rudy asks Zu to deliver HIV medication to a buyer, later revealed to be Ebo. When Zu and Music go for a walk, Zu becomes distracted, and the Music is stung by a bee. Ouch. Music suffers an allergic reaction and is hospitalized. Zu cannot afford the treatment and realizes that she has left her bag in the park, which contained drugs intended to be sold to a pop star. Oh, that's a big-ass mistake, leaving those types of unmentionables in a public place. That's one fatal mistake. And why would some person would want to take drugs before recording music or going on stage? That doesn't sound right. Distraught, Zu suffers a relapse and begins drinking. While intoxicated, she gets into a fight with Ebo's neighbor, and the police are called. She admits to Ebo that she is on probation. The same night, Felix attempts to intervene during a physical altercation between his parents, and his father accidentally kills Felix. Oh, that's fucked up. Sometime later, Ebo attends his brother's wedding alone. Meanwhile, Zu brings Music to an adoption center, but cannot bring herself to leave her there. They decided to join Ebo at the wedding, where Zu and Ebo share a kiss on stage and prepare to sing as Ebo plays the piano. Music interrupts and begins to sing herself. Later, the three are together and happily preparing Music's breakfast. Music is given a new support dog, which Felix had arranged for her prior to his death. Throughout the film, musical fantasy dance sequences that take place inside Music's mind, showing how she views the world, are interspersed with the dialogue. Okay, why would someone's parents would name their children, one of their children, Music? Does that make any sense? No. Okay, so the film began developing following Sia's announcement of the project in 2015. Originally intended as a non-musical film, was subsequently reconceived as a musical with a larger budget and was filmed in mid-2017. A studio album by Sia was also released in connection with the film, including some of the 10 songs she wrote for it. Oh, don't even get me started with the critical response. On the review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes, Music has an approval rating of 7% based on 55 reviews. with an average of 3.5 out of 10. The website's critics' consensus reads, offensive in its depiction of autism, and painfully misguided in essentially every respect. Music is a vanity project that begs to be turned down. According to Metacritic, which is assigned in the film weighed an average score of 23 out of 100 based on 18 critics. Music received generally unfavorable reviews. Yeah, that is fucked up. Yeah, January 14th, 2021 was one of the worst days that ever released in Australia. And so does February 12th of that year. So yeah, the film was a box office failure, grossing $645,949 against its $16 million budget. Music received generally negative reviews from critics, with most criticism stemming from its depiction of autism. It was nominated for Best Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy, at Best Actress, Motion Picture, Comedy, or Musical, at the 78th Golden Globe Awards, but was also nominated for 4 Golden Raspberry Awards, winning Worst Actress for Hudson, Worst Supporting Actress for Ziegler, and Worst Director for Sia. Yeah, because as an autistic person, I find that fucking film offensive, and it's the worst film that I've ever fucking heard. Alright, Fray Bentos. The brand is known for the manufacture and sale in the United Kingdom of arranged tinned meat pies such as steak and kidney and minced beef and onion. Since 2011, the brand in the UK has been owned by Baxter's, who manufacture Fray Bentos products at their site at Foca Brews in Scotland, or Focha Brews, or whatever you want to pronounce. In addition to meat pies, the range includes tinned meat puddings and tinned meatballs, as well as microwavable meat-based pasta and rice dishes. The sales of Fray Bentos products, once a staple in the UK and some European countries, have declined in recent decades, and in 2011, it was reported that sales had been flat at around £30 million per year for the previous 10 years. Tinned meat products, including Fray Bentos, now have a down-market image. According to the Financial Times, Fray Bentos products may engender sneers, but they also have a cult following in the UK. Baxter's describes as Fray Bentos as an iconic British brand. Campbell's Soup Company manufactures and sells steak and kidney pies in Australia under the Fray Bentos brand name. Well, let's review a little history on the Wikipedia page, like I always do. Alright, in 1865, the Biggs Extract of Meat Company was founded in Britain by German chemist Justus von Liebig. The company established a factory in Uruguay to manufacture a beef extract product that would later be sold under the name Oxo. In 1873, the factory began manufacturing tinned corned beef, which was sold in Britain under the name Fray Bentos, the town in Uruguay where the factory was located. Fray Bentos was trademarked by Liebig in 1881 for the purpose of marketing glue and extract of meat, although in practice, it was used principally for marketing corned beef. In fact, Fray Bentos became synonymous with corned beef. In 1924, the Big Extract of Meat Company, together with the Fray Bentos brand, was acquired by the Vestley Group, which named the Uruguayan operation Frigorifico Angelo de Uruguay, aka Angelo Meat Packing Company. Fray Bentos' peak was during World War II as a supplier of meat to the Allies. Fray Bentos shipped more than 16 million cans of corned beef to Europe in 1943 alone. British soldiers serving in North Africa during the Desert Campaign called it Desert Chicken. Desert Chicken? The Angelo factory in Fray Bentos, at its height, employed over 5,000 workers for more than 50 countries to process 400 cows an hour. Damn! As a result of the demand for Fray Bentos products at this time, the Uruguayan currency became more valuable than the US dollar. Yeah, sure. Okay, in 2011, the Premier Foods canning division, including Fray Bentos, was bought in Prince's Group, but following an Office of Fair Trading investigation, Prince's were required to immediately sell off Fray Bentos on competition grounds. It was brought by Baxter's, the current owners, who announced that production would transfer to its site at Focke-Wulf in Scotland. The move was completed in 2013, and ever since Baxter's extended the Fray Bentos range to include deep fill pies, discontinued by 2022, and microwavable bowl products. As a result of the COVID-19 lockdowns in the United Kingdom, sales of canned goods experienced considerable growth, including Fray Bentos, which increased sales by 29% in 2020. Okay, so anyone in the United Kingdom would ask themselves, why are Fray Bentos pies so hard to open? According to Google, either AI or one of the fucking websites, most tins now have ring pulls. Tin opener can be a bit difficult as the lip is deeper than on, say, a baked bean tin, and it can be difficult to keep the tin opener cutting the whole way round and not end up just scratching the surface. Well, who the fuck cares about scratching the surface? I sure as hell don't. So according to Matthew Harris via the northernslive.news website, the steak and gravy pie is simply horrific. The pastry had a nice rise with plenty of puffy layers, but underneath lay just a most horrible abomination. And the minced beef and onion pie, not as offensive as the steak and gravy in terms of taste, but this is just tiny nuggets of blended beef swimming in gravy. Who on earth decided this was a good idea? And the cheese and onions. Alright, I am shaken to my core because I can truly say I just kind of like this one. Yeah, why am I not surprised? Yeah, and according to Bell Hill Mayor, it says, no joke. They taste so bad, and the smell when you open a can is horrendous. Glad I've never eaten them myself because of the bad reviews. Yeah, I sure feel your fucking pain, man. So in conclusion, Sia's first movie was an abomination. Words cannot describe how bad this movie was. And as for Fray Bentos, I recommend that you stay the hell away from it. If you wanted a better pie, other than Fray Bentos, have some chicken pot pie. That's the not dessert of a pie that I could think of at this point. Yeah, my fucking mental health is like draining on account of these two.